for it to be like a Public Enemy movie or a Two Live Crew movie, or
nah?
Or do you don't think
Public Enemy? I mean, look, man, we're a recording group that persevered the odds of 28 years in a row. We ain't broke up. Our dramas are not the same. In Hollywood, green lights, black drama, or drama. Look, I mean, you had beef, you had drama, you had sex, you had death, and you had hip-hop and all that. And you had star appeal, because every time you look out Straight Outta Compton, boom, you saw P.E., then you saw what? You saw Snoop, then you saw Tupac. I mean, so they had everything in that movie. And let me tell you this, it's like, that movie took 2 years for them to try to, like, I mean, really fight Hollywood to have happen, because Hollywood came with all this doubt. So it was 2 years. And you talking about pros like Cube, and you talking about a pro like F. Gary Gray to make that happen. Now, we know that things are going to be probably easier, and movies will be done quicker. But Straight Outta Compton and N.W.A was a perfect storm. They didn't exist long as a group.
Right.
Their story as a movie fits more of a movie than it probably did as a group. You know, it self-destructed after 3 or 4 years. You know, there's no story to Public Enemy other than the black guys win in the end. Ain't no story in that. Black guys winning in the end, and then and having international prowess. It's like Hollywood can't sell that. The only way it can actually move is like when people come to our concert and they see us really rock for 2 hours, and they say, well, yeah, you can't get that out of anybody else. You won't be able to get that out of N.W.A because they're more of a movie and a story than they are as an act in a group. And I'm pretty sure Dre and Cube and Ren, they cool with that legacy. I mean, also with the movie, just in closing, it was cool how Cube and F. Gary Gray and Dre and Ren and all and Yella, they made it look like, this is us coming through this. We wouldn't be accepted. So we dealt with what was on the floor. We dealt with the shaky deals. We dealt with the shakiness of these cats coming in. All we wanted to do was music. They wouldn't accept us coming through the good route, so we had to come through a real route. And at the end of the day, we was caught up some time when we were young and we was tripping, and we came out of that, and that, we got to look back on it. We can't go back to that. If we do go back to it, it's going to be a film, and that's what that was.
Yeah. I never even looked at it like that till you just broke that down.
Well,
because I thought with the success of the movie that, you know what I'm saying, like it'll make with Hollywood know that it's profitable for them to make, because this Compton movie is the #1 movie. Like, would it be like a trend to make the next movie for the next group or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
It ain't the amount of, nobody has the amount of combination of drama, beef, turmoil. The only one that comes close to that is probably Tupac.
Yeah.
But Tupac's one person, so you got to get into that one person. And John Singleton was already working on that, and he said it was hell just being able to get the things to line up. And this is John Singleton, so I'm here to tell people, this Public Enemy works as a documentary series. It might work as a mini-series. It doesn't work as a movie, not like that. And matter of fact, people will only be disappointed that it ain't a Straight Outta Compton because it just can't be.
Do you miss the days of distinction in rap music, where you knew that somebody was from Detroit or somebody was from New York, where now it kind of sounds like you don't know where the fuck anybody is from?
No, not really. I miss groups more than anything. Because I think when you have a group, you have a dynamic coming from an area that's going to bring that out anyway. If it's just one person and they trying to, be where they ain't from, how do you know that they ain't got a little bit of that in them? But a group spreads and balances all that out.
True.
Because there's going to be some kind of hometown dynamic that somebody in the group is going to have. So, like I said, the Straight Outta Compton, N.W.A is a perfect example. These are 5 guys that, when you looked at them, you said, well, you know what, there's a Compton there, there's a South Central L.A. in there, there's no doubt that this is Southern California, and also some things that they got in their family line that comes from the South. That, when Dre used to actually make those swap meet tapes, he used to put all those records that were singles on one tape and then sell the tape. tapes and the swap meets that would have all the joints on it, because before then you couldn't get all them joints on cassette. They were 12 inches. So you go out to the West Coast, and in the swap meets they have, you know, all the joints from the East on one tape. Well, Dre was one of those guys that made those tapes too. So you know, with those the type of dynamics, you know who's going to come from where when you have a group effort. When it's individuals, they could kind of disguise it.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, like, comment, share. Also go over to UGSforLife.com, download the entire archive, and check out new episodes on Apple Podcasts and Blog Talk Radio.